I know, right? It's amazing, right? That's why games are out.
Not signing until the end. Good evening, everyone. If everyone could please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everyone to our monthly board meeting. I appreciate everyone being here tonight. Please let it be known that all board members, with the exception of Mr. Anthony Tussey and Mrs. Deb Brown, are in attendance this evening. And just nice to see a bunch of people in the crowd. Maybe if you're here for a class assignment, can you kind of raise your hand, let us know who you are? Great. Thanks for coming this evening. And I know we have some student board representatives that are looking to take Mr. Noah Butler's spot next year when he graduates. Anyone want to kind of raise their hand and show us who they are? Thank you guys for also coming. Appreciate you participating in here this evening. So with that, I will turn it over to our current student board representative. He's only got 6 months left before he goes on to the real world. And Mr. Noah Butler.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a great February break and is feeling refreshed and excited as we head into the spring season. Special welcome again to all the future student representative candidates. And to start, our winter athletic teams have just wrapped up very successful seasons. Several track athletes advanced deep into the postseason, representing our school very well, along with many successful individual performances from our swimmers and divers. Most notably, our boys basketball team completed a historic season, ultimately falling in the second round of the playoffs. The school spirit throughout the run was evident with increased student attendance. As winter sports have concluded, spring sports officially began this week. There's noticeable excitement throughout the school, and the student body prepares for a new season with new excitement. As we move into spring, our calendar quickly fills up. Spring concerts are approaching, along with upcoming Honor Society inductions. Similar to athletics, I encourage everyone in the community to attend these events. It is also World Language Month, and students are excited to celebrate various cultures throughout our school. On another note, I'm currently in the final stages of developing my mental health survey for students, which will gather many perspectives directly from students to the student about how they're feeling and what support they may need. In February, we recognized PS I Love You Day, which continues to inspire both myself and the entire student body. The message of kindness, connection, and mental health radiated throughout the halls and really was inspiring throughout the building. Additionally, I had the opportunity to attend the Long Island Regional Student Forum, where I heard from professionals and student leaders about how they are making their schools better. I'll use this to kind of implement it to our school and hope to make West Islip a more welcoming community. Looking ahead, we're now well into the second half of the school year, and as responsibilities increase, I want to encourage all students, especially seniors, to stay focused and avoid senioritis. With exams and final assessments approaching, it's important that we continue putting our best effort forth. With that, thank you for your time and continued support. I hope everyone has a great month ahead, and I look forward to sharing more updates in April.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Butler. Always a great presentation and giving us perspective from the student standpoint, because that's the most important thing we're here for. So we'll have any discussion? No? All right. Any invitation to the public to speak on an agenda item? I don't think we have any. So what I'll go to is, can I get a motion for the approval of the minutes from March 4th planning session? So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved. All right, we'll go into recognition.
Great. I just wanted to share 2 quick recognitions. I received a letter this week from a proud Manitowoc parent. One of the teaching assistants over at Manitowoc, Ms. Patty Love, was named to be the Grand Marshal of the Babylon Village St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is coming up on March 22nd, so we want to congratulate her. I also wanted to give a big congratulations to Dr. Dan Markwood, who is our principal over at Udall Road Middle School, who was named the 2026 CAS Administrator of the Year. Very proud of Dr. Markwood.
Thank you, Dr. Romanelli. And just to reiterate, the student board representative, we do have some students here that are interviewing for that position. That is was elected last year from the state to have one student represented on the Board of Education. We had a great candidate pool last year, and we had two students, Noah Butler and Veronica, who were selected as the student board and the alternate. So what that does is gives the ability for a student to have perspective here at the dais on everything we do. They don't get to vote on personnel issues or anything, but they really give us perspective that we don't have. We maybe have as parents, but certainly not as students. So I appreciate the students that are stepping up and going through that process. I know Mr. O'Farrell and the West Islip High School has a really thorough process to do this. And the first year has been a really successful year, so thanks for them being here. With that, I will go to the personnel with Mr. Cameron.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. Ahead of the personnel schedule, we just have two walk-in items this evening, and they are a memorandum of understanding between the West Islip Union Free School District and the West Islip Teachers Association regarding the school calendar due to the emergency school closings due to the state of emergency by Governor Hochul. If I can have a motion to approve that MOU between the West Islip Union Free School District and the West Islip Teachers Association.
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved. Thank you.
We have an additional walk-in item for a memorandum of understanding with the West Islip Union Free School District and the West Islip Paraprofessionals chapter of WIDA for the same reasons regarding the school calendar and the state of emergency declared by Governor Hochul. Can I request a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved.
Excellent. And ahead of the personnel schedule, I would like to turn it back over to Dr. Romanelli.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cameron. So tonight is a great night. I'd like to bring item A1 to the attention of the board, which is the 10-year appointment for Dr. Patrick Collier-Rendon, Executive Director of Technology and Innovation. If I could just say a few words. So it's my recommendation that the Board of Education consider granting Dr. Patrick Collier-Rendon in recognition of his exceptional service, leadership, and impact on our school district tenure this evening. During his time with us, Patrick has distinguished himself as a true innovator in his field. He has played a central role in strengthening our district's technology infrastructure, ensuring that our systems are reliable, forward-thinking, and aligned with the evolving needs of teaching and learning. His leadership has significantly enhanced our cybersecurity measures, modernized our digital platforms, and guided the successful rollout of our new district website, improving communication and accessibility for our entire school community. Beyond infrastructure, Dr. Collier-Rendon, or PKR for short, has remained deeply committed to expanding meaningful opportunities for students. He's been instrumental in supporting the thoughtful implementation of artificial intelligence tools for both students and staff, and always with a focus on responsible, educationally sound work. His work has opened new pathways for innovation in instruction and learning while keeping student needs at the center of every initiative. Patrick's influence extends well beyond our district. He's presented locally and nationally, proudly showcasing the innovative work happening in our schools and helping position our district as a leader in educational technology. His contributions, such as the development of our AI vision statement, were also key to our acceptance into the League of Innovative Schools, which is a distinction that reflects both his vision and its ability to turn ideas into action. As a leader, PKR chairs our District Technology Committee, complies with the ever-growing list of laws and regulations, and oversees a talented team of dedicated technicians, teaching assistants, clerical staff, and specialists, many of whom we see here tonight. Thank you for being here. He leads with respect, fostering a collaborative culture focused on service, problem solving, and continuous improvement. Most importantly, throughout every project and responsibility, Patrick remains student-centered at his core. His decisions are guided by what will best support student learning, safety, and opportunity, and that focus is evident in the quality and impact of his work. And we're proud to have him here in our audience tonight, as well as his three beautiful daughters. And for all these reasons, I wholeheartedly recommend the board consider Dr. Collier-Rendon for tenure.
Discussion? If I could say one thing, when we made the switch from IT director to the director of IT and innovation, it really set us apart. And the work that has been done is not just on the IT world. It's what Dr. Romanelli says, is bringing our students and our staff and our programs innovative ways of using technology. And it really has made an impressive milestone in the school. I was at a business advisory board meeting, and they introduced the an AI challenge to help local businesses use AI tools within their business. And what a great aspect to bring our schools into local businesses to teach them or help them solve problems with AI. And that's the type of thinking that the school district needed before we hired him and now that we have. So I appreciate everything that you're doing, and we'll take a vote on, can I have a motion to approve? We did, okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Congratulations, motion approved.
Patrick, can you come up for a picture and gift? Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cameron.
I'd like to request a motion for item T1, the retirement of Ms. Mary Kay Kavanaugh from our Special Education Department effective July 1st, 2026, after 20 and a half amazing years of service to our special education students in the high school.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mary Kay. Item T2, I'd like to turn it back over to Dr. Romanelli.
I'd like to bring item T2, the tenure appointment of Catherine Bayer, speech teacher, effective April 21st, 2026, to the attention of the board. And if I can say a few words. It is my recommendation that the West Islip Board of Education consider granting tenure to Ms. Catherine Bayer tonight. Since her arrival in the district, Ms. Bayer has made a consistently positive impact through her dedication, professionalism, and compassionate approach to students. A kind and soft-spoken speech-language pathologist, she brings both warmth and expertise to her role. She is currently assigned to Paul J. Blue Elementary School, where she skillfully meets the diverse needs of students in our 811 special education class. What initially struck me was Catherine's ability to connect to students in a fun way. They laugh together while learning and growing. Ms. Bayern is a highly competent, thorough, and completely invested in supporting our special education students. She exhibits strong expertise in augmentative and alternative communication, AAC devices, and applies this knowledge effectively to support student access, participation, and communication across educational settings. She is proactive in reaching out to staff, and in particular families, to assist them in navigating the practical how-tos of AAC devices. Through her reflective practice, collaborative approach, and commitment to family engagement, Ms. Bayern consistently supports student growth while contributing positively to the multidisciplinary team and the broader school community. Beyond her direct service to students, she is an active participant in building-wide events and SEPTA activities, demonstrating her dedication to the school community. Each summer, she serves as the speech therapist for our ESY program, where she continues to meet the individual needs of students requiring extended year services with the same care and commitment that she demonstrates throughout the school year. Ms. Bayern is a valued member of our school community whose professionalism, expertise, and genuine care of our students so lucky and makes her highly deserving of tenure. So we're strongly recommending that the board consider Ms. Catherine Bayern for tenure this evening.
Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. Congratulations.
Catherine, will you come up for a picture?
This always makes me think of the time I got tenure, Mr. McCann. There was a note in my mailbox that said, "You got tenure last night." It's a special moment.
That's good. All right, our last personnel item this evening, item CL1 is the retirement of the amazing extraordinaire, Mr. Richard Kelly, Chief Custodian, effective August 5th, 2026, after 17.8 years here in the district and nearly 20 years of service to the municipalities of New York State. Rich Kelly will be enjoying his retirement with his wife in Florida, and we wish him nothing but the best. So can I request a motion for the acceptance of Richard Kelly's retirement, item CL1?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? No discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. It's personnel this evening.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cameron. We have one other recognition that we'd like to make. Mrs. Marks?
Yes, hi, this is all a little off the cuff. I just found out exciting news, so I wanted to share it with everybody. One of our high school students, William Tarpey, who I can see behind the podium, he wants to kill me now, but he has been a student of the Engineering Technology Department for the last 4 years. He's on LinkedIn, and I'm constantly seeing him getting certifications and recognitions and accomplishments for his work in the machining. He's also on a robotics team, and I just found out tonight that after several companies were vying for his employment, he has accepted a position right out of high school with Arquin Industries. They are a supplier of a lot of our military and commercial airlines. I might be getting it wrong, but it's really exciting. A lot of people were looking for him to join their company, and he made a decision, so I just really wanted to congratulate him on that exciting achievement.
Thank you, Mrs. Marks. It truly shows the power of our vocational programs here in West Islip, where children can graduate and go right to the workforce. So congratulations. All right, from there, we'll go on to our curriculum update. Mrs. Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. Good evening, everyone. Earlier this week, our elementary and middle school principals sent out letters in regard to the upcoming New York State assessment to our elementary and middle school parents. Part of the letter is encouraging our parents and our students to take those tests this year. We do utilize the tests for a multitude of reasons. We utilize them to check our instructional programs to ensure their effectiveness. We utilize them to ensure that our students are receiving the supports and interventions that they need. And it's just one piece of a bigger, group of information that we utilize to paint a whole picture for our students. So once again, the ELA math and science tests will be coming up, and we encourage all students to be taking those tests. As Mr. Butler previously mentioned, on February 27th, 3 students from the high school attended the Long Island Regional Student Forum held at St. Joseph's University. The forum provided students with the opportunity to engage in meaningful discussions about important topics affecting their school experience. 3 students represented West Islip: Noah Butler, Gianna Pace, and Alexa Peral. Throughout the day, they participated in dialogue centered around mental health, academic pressure, school environment, career planning, and life skills. March is National Foreign Language Month and is being celebrated throughout the district. Morning announcements being delivered in various languages, the playing of music from around the world throughout the hallways of the buildings, multilingual welcome signs, International Dress Day, and door decorating contests are just some of the ways that the month is being celebrated throughout the district. At the high school, a video created by the ENL students to celebrate the month has been posted to the district website. It highlights the various countries represented by our students at the high school and the multitude of languages that they speak. Elementary students will be celebrating math over the next few weeks with Celebrate Math Week. They will be taking part in activities such as math puzzles, math and money, math and sports, math, art and design, and math in games. Thank you in advance to all of our elementary teachers for celebrating Math Week with their students. Thank you, Mr. McCann.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Morrison. So we'll move on to our report of board committees. We'll start with the Health and Wellness Committee. And Mrs. Grace Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. The Health and Wellness Committee met on March 10th at the Paul J. Blue Cafeteria. We went over the financial report, and we spoke about the 5th and 6th grade volleyball tournament that was held last weekend. It was a really fun event. This tournament is over 40 years old, and it really continues to be a great event for the 5th and 6th grade students. And thank you to everyone on the Alliance for your support. The West Islip High School had an assembly today for the 11th and 12th graders. The Suffolk County District Attorney's Office came in and spoke about choice and consequences, which is an educational initiative designed to help and prevent drunk, drugged, and reckless driving. The Digital Safety and Wellbeing Parent Night is April 22nd at 7 p.m. here at the Beach Street Auditorium. And for the Mental Health Subcommittee, last week, the Mental Health Subcommittee hosted a second parent caregiver workshop. We wanted to thank Ryan, Maria, and the team from Youth Enrichment Services who presented. Ryan presented a digital parenting and mental health presentation on digital parenting and mental health, was well received by the community, and we have already received positive feedback. On March 20th, the district will host its first mental health resource fair, West Islip Well. We have a great group of providers already who will be in attendance and will share information and resources on a variety of topics related to mental health. This will also take place at Beach Street in the cafeteria from 5:30 to 7:30. We spoke about the health and wellness scholarships. Both the health and wellness and the mental health subcommittee will offer two $500 scholarships. And that information can be found on the West Islip Counseling High School page. And then the next meeting is April 14th at 9:30 at the Paul J. Blue Cafeteria.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Kelly. Next up, we'll do Buildings and Grounds with Mr. Quinbedell.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. Good evening, everybody. Buildings and Grounds Committee met on Tuesday, March 10th at 6:30 at Beach Street Middle School. We had a few different things to talk about. Number one was, I'm sure everybody remembers the major snowstorm we had, record-breaking 31-inch snowstorm. And we'd just like to commend everybody that worked for the school district during that time and did an amazing job getting the buildings back open and faced that crazy snowstorm. That was great. I feel like a broken record with these insurance claims, but we'll go through them again, I guess. We got a couple new ones if everybody's excited about that. These are all very small insurance claims. Let me preface it with that, so it's not a big deal, but they're important to talk about nonetheless. We had a pipe leak in Manitowoc underneath the sidewalk, which was caused due to settling from the sidewalk, which broke the pipe. Kind of interesting, it was the same pipe that broke in a different spot, but this is a new spot on the same pipe that's broken, which we're going to get fixed and go through the insurance. The other one that happened was, I guess it was probably 2 weeks ago. Anybody has a kid in high school, I'm sure heard about the temporary halfway power outage that happened at the high school. Part of the power coming into the high school went out. It was kind of a issue for the day. During that power outage, which it's not really a power outage, it was like they lost complete power. So like computer systems and stuff got broken, and I guess where the power goes in. So all that stuff's gonna have to get fixed, which some of it's already been fixed, and we're just going through insurance. Now here's the broken record part. The Super Bowl flood, as we like to call it, which happened at the high school. That one got fixed over February break. And then we also got the solar panel fire, well, not really fire, smoking of wires, as I like to call it, happened at Beach and Paul J. Blue. That was fixed, pretty much fixed over February break. And district office flooding was also fixed over February break. Now the exciting part, which next meeting we're going to prepare and bring a nice presentation for everybody. But if anybody's really interested, they can look at my little colored packet here. Pool reconstruction project. We had SEC, which is like our partner with building, come in and give us a full presentation on where we're at with the pool reconstruction, which I know from the outside doesn't look like much, but there's been leaps and bounds. The biggest part of this project is all the demolition repair for the new building, and they had their work cut out for them. We're pretty much done with demolition. They cut out the old floor of the pool, which was ridiculously deep with very big rebar, which took a lot of time. And they couldn't do it just haphazardly because we still had school going on, so it was a very big project. Temporary shoring has been put up, and we're about time to, soon you'll see the wall come down, and we'll see the wall come out, and then we'll start building the pool over again. So it's gonna be real exciting to actually see it. So it's a nice progress to that. And next time we do this, we'll bring a nice video so everybody can watch everything that's happening. All right, that's it for buildings and grounds. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Riddell. Next up, we'll have our education committee, Mr. Antonello.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. The Education Committee met on Tuesday, March 10th at Beach Street Library. All the board members were in attendance. All of the administrators are in attendance as well. The first issue discussed was the Parent Literacy Night, which was on Monday that passed, the 11th. Parents across the district have been curious about the Arts and Letters program in the elementary school. The presentation explained how it all works, grade to grade. The parents got to see materials used. For those that could not attend, I would encourage you to check out the video that was shown at the presentation, which will be up on the website soon. On a personal note, when it comes to arts and letters, my 5th grade daughter has come home from school on several occasions telling me about things that they read in class, from living in Siberia, I think it was Siberia, to the kids getting trapped in a cave in Thailand and making me watch videos about it. And of course, this made me happy as a father and teacher, but made me extra ecstatic as a board member to hear that too. We talked about the New York State ELA and math tests that are coming up. The district is going to try to reduce the number of opt-outs so that we have data that's more reliable. The third item talked about was the use of technology. So just like other districts are discussing all over Long Island, about technology and technology use in classrooms and screen time, the social aspects of a lot of screen time. We're going to look at that, see how West Islip fares with technology and the level of technology. Our first step will be a survey of the teachers to see what kind of technology they're using on a daily basis with the kids. The last item was the Beacon program with Suffolk Community College. This was mentioned a few meetings before, but the program allows students to get college credits for courses taken here in high school. There are obvious academic and financial benefits to this for our students, and now the process has begun to align our courses with Suffolk Communities, get them aligned, get them accredited, and hopefully this will be all ready to go by the fall. And the meeting ended at 7:20.
Thank you, Mr. Antonello. Now on to the Finance Committee with Mrs. Marks.
Hello again. Finance Committee met yesterday, March 10th. Meeting started at 7:55. Committee members present were myself, Quinn Bedell, and Grace Kelly. Board members in attendance were Mr. Antonello, Ms. Brown, Mr. McCann, and Mr. Tussey. Administrators present were Dr. Romanelli, Ms. Pilati, Ms. Morrison, and Mr. Cameron. Purpose of the meeting was to discuss pertinent fiscal matters. The following were presented and accepted by the committee. Treasurer's report for school district funds for January, extracurricular funds for January, payroll summary for January, financial statements for January, internal claims audit report for February, system manager audit trail for February, payroll certifications for the weeks of February 4th, February 19th, and March 4th, review of warrants, review of board agenda finance items, which include the approval of budget transfers 4589, 4591 through 4593 for the general fund, and 4590 for the capital fund. Approval of 2026-2027 bid extensions included traditional air conditioning, refrigerator repair and service, and Fitzgerald Driving School in-car driver education instructions with vehicles. Approval of surplus memo for food services, 5-door pass-through refrigerator for West Islip High School. And the discussion items that we had is for our capital reserve. We reviewed the district's capital reserve plan and discussed the proposed projects for the May 2026 capital reserve proposition. The capital reserve proposition on our ballot coming up in May will be for 3 projects at a total cost not to exceed $1,880,000, which include the following: installing magnetic door holders for all classrooms at West Islip High School, installing electronic locks and card access readers for all classrooms and bathrooms at Beach Street Middle School and Udall Road Middle School, and completing the replacement of building fire alarms at the elementary school. The meeting adjourned at 8:15 p.m.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Marks, and we'll stay with the Special Education Committee with also Mrs. Marks.
Hello again. The Special Education Committee met on March 11th at district office. The following committee members were present: Dr. Romanelli, Ms. Morrison, Ms. Dowling, Ms. Doherty, Ms. Ednick, Ms. Kelly, and myself participated via teleconference. The meeting began at 9 a.m. and commenced at approximately 9:45 a.m. The committee discussed IEPs from CSE and CPSE and recommendations from the respective committees. Ms. Dowling reported on the rising number of preschool students with disabilities and that our CPSE visits for our students transitioning into kindergarten have concluded. Ms. Dowling also shared that the department is in the midst of annual review season, and additionally, our unified basketball season is just around the corner, and we are looking forward to the start of the season for our unified team as well as for our Baloo basketball buddies. We also were joined by Mara D'Amico, who is the SEPTA president. I just want to give a couple SEPTA notes if I could. They are now going to be doing a new class partnering with the library. It's geared toward elementary school students, so it's going to be pushed out through the PTAs at that level, but this is going to be a sensory experience for 15 kids and their parents, so it's going to be small to start. It'll probably fill up quickly, but that's going to be April 8th for the first meeting at 4:30 at the library. They recently had their silent dance, which was a free give back from SEPTA. They had a great turnout of over 80 kids and parents. And if you've never been to a silent dance, they get headphones, everyone listens to their own channel, and you don't know what everyone's dancing to, but everyone's dancing. And sometimes if you see that a couple of kids are on the same channel, they'll be dancing the same way. It's really fun. The next SEPTA meeting is March 25th at Beach Street at 7:30 p.m. And you can also attend those meetings via Zoom if you're unable to attend in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Marks. We'll go on to business items. Mrs. Blunt.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. May I have a motion for the approval of budget transfers in the general fund and capital fund as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved.
May I have a motion for the approval of the surplus refrigerator from the food services department at the high school?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved.
May I have a motion for the approval of the bid extensions as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Pilati. All right. Can I have the motion of the approval of the resolution of notice of public hearing for the budget vote and election of the West Islip Union Free School District?
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved. Can I have the motion for the approval of resolution of the nomination of candidates for the Eastern Suffolk Board of Cooperative Education Services?
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved. And finally, can I have the approval of the resolution of the Board of Education approves the recommendations to the Special Ed Committee of Students as listed in the district's backup?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion approved. All right, thanks, everybody. In the President's Report, I like to call this segment I have, it's called Heard Around Town. So as a board and administration, we pride ourselves on being open and transparent and being accessible to anyone, any question, anytime. And I mean any question, anytime, because you'll hear some of the questions where they came from. But we really want to be responsive to everything that comes out, whether it's on soccer field or Stop and Shop or at a lacrosse tournament in Maryland, wherever it comes from, we want to be responsible for that. So best way to reach us is to meet us in person, email us, everything that gets sent to us, everything that gets asked of us, we do discuss as a board and also with the administration. So with that, I just want to have this is a part of the meeting where I can share some of those things that fall outside of the normal course of the regular order of business. So the first question I had was, it was actually at a SEPTA meeting. We were talking about clubs in schools. I know Mrs. Marks talked about the Sensory Club. There was this Sensory Club that was taking place at Paul J. Ballou, had rave reviews about the club. Part of that discussion came and I was asked, how do clubs come about in the schools? So if you don't know it, we have literally hundreds of clubs down from the elementary schools, the middle schools, and the high school. And really, clubs can be formed by student ideas, going to a teacher or administrator and saying, could we do a club that does this? We have clubs from everything from sensory to the Swifty Club to everything in between. And those really come out of ideas from students. They could go to a teacher can write that up, go to the administration and get it on to be approved, and then the board approves the clubs once a year. So great feedback to how clubs form. This was a totally off topic, but I heard in the car ride on Rob Moses today, just a random, was a teacher arrested today? This is not true. So here we go, not true. So things that come up. I was out and about right after the snowstorm, and I was stopped and I asked if someone, if the district hires outside groups to do our snow removal. So no, all the snow removal is done by the building grounds team here in the district, led by Mr. James Bossy and team. To Mr. Bedell's point, they do a sensational job. So all of that 31 inches of snow was removed in those 2 days and got the buildings ready. Now, it was an exceptional amount of snow, and then I'll just point out one exceptional group of workers that got it cleaned. The next point of order is something that we've been hearing. I got the first question on the fields of the Maryland lacrosse tournament. A random parent came up to me and said, we heard that the security is going through changes and they're doing a lot of cutbacks. First of all, not true. I would say that this board and the administration, in conjunction with Sean McAlevey, who's a director of security here, spends many, many hours and many budget dollars on ensuring that these schools are the safest buildings in the district on Long Island. In fact, just this year alone, we had 3 different school districts come and tour our facilities to make sure, to find out how they can emulate that. That's a pride moment for us, but it's also really effective in terms of situations that have happened over the years. We continuously expand the security budget. Last year, we, as a board, went to the administration, said, can we have security in the middle schools and the high schools from 2 o'clock on when there's a lot of activities in the schools? You know, myself and all of us who have children in the district, when you go to the high school or middle school at 5 in the afternoon, it's thriving. There's hundreds of people there. So we, went with Mrs. Pilati and the administration to get that approved. That was our first year. This is our first year of the program, was last year. And we are making some tweaks to the hours of that, but nothing to that program. That program is new and it's going to keep. A couple of years ago, we put a second camera room. So if anyone doesn't know this, but we have an entire unit, Paul J. Ballou, which has almost 500 cameras that monitor the district 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. So we have someone who mans that camera so that room is a command central at Paul J. Ballou. A couple of years ago, we put a secondary room up in Udall. So there was someone monitoring those cameras along with the 2 full-time security guards that were there. So we're shifting those hours around for having total support on the 24-hour camera. So we don't need another person sitting in the room for 24 hours. So a few changes to that. But there is not one security guard from our standpoint, that lost his job today, tomorrow, the next day. There's some changes going on. And what I would say on that is, because this came to me through text today, through phone calls, we take this very seriously. We work with the administration, and you know, someone who's out there anonymously sharing what they think are the details of our security plan. I'm looking at the camera now, please stop that. We try to take pride in keeping our security plans as secure as possible so that not everyone knows exactly what we're doing. You know, a few years ago, we announced armed guards in the district. We as a board don't even want to know who the armed guards are in the district because we want that confidential so that we know that they're there. But that's part of a security. You don't want to show everyone everything that you're doing all the time. So true, we are making some hourly adjustments, but there is no single person that got a pink slip. We take pride in that. So just wanted to address that. But any questions like that, we work hand in hand with the administration. And again, Sean McAlevey and that team does a sensational job. I know the security is always here and around. We appreciate everything you do and support you 100%. And thank you for what you do. So I just want to give you guys a round of applause. And the last thing was, you know, I think I mentioned before, the Student Board of Ed rep, Mr. Noah Butler is our student board rep. Someone came to me at Stop and Shop and said they're not comfortable with students voting on teacher salaries. Well, they don't vote on teacher salaries. They are here to listen and give input, but they don't have any executive privilege to be involved with personnel and negotiations. So maybe students want to vote on teacher salaries, but we're not getting into that discussion. But some of the things that were heard around town. So again, if you hear something, please, the best source to come to is people sitting at this table. We will definitely respond and answer anything that you have. Sometimes we don't have all of the answers. Some things are work in progress, but our job is to make sure that the students are safe, that they have all the teachers and the staff have all the resources they need to do their job while maintaining fiscal responsibility to the entire community. And I think specifically this administration and this group does a sensational job at that. So with that, I will turn it over to Dr. Romanelli for the superintendent's report.
Thank you so much, Mr. McCann. I just wanted to share with the board tonight, you have a copy of the book Forward Together by George Couros in front of you. This was actually sent to us from George Couros. For those that don't know who George Couros is, he is a international educational speaker. He actually came to speak to our entire district staff on Superintendent's Conference Day about 4 years ago. And we recently created our district slogan video that went out that many of you have probably seen. It was created with some students from Manitowoc and myself, and we were asking for the creation of a district slogan. One of our teachers, Jesse Fallis, over at Beach Street Middle School, tagged George Couros in a post on X and said, "You got to check out this video. This is I think you'll really like this." He actually, we had not talked in a long time, but he actually reached out to me on the phone and said, "I've been having a writer's block, and I watched the video that you guys created in West Islip, and I just got an idea for my new book." And he went to a coffee shop, and in about 2 weeks, wrote this entire book. I just want to point out, if you don't read the whole thing, it's okay, but we think it's a great book and you would love it. Starting on page 125, there is a number of pages talking about West Islip School in this book. So this is a book that I know is all over the educational world and something that's being read across the country and across the world. It talks about really just the title of the book, Moving Schools from Conflict to Community in Contentious Times. There are a lot of polarizing issues out there and issues that come up, but to echo what Mr. McCann said before, I think that it's the idea of transparency and that we want to have these conversations. Come to us if you have concerns about anything, and we are available and want to talk about that. So we're really proud to be mentioned in here, and George Couros sent these copies for every member of the board that we wanted you to have this. And I have a copy for you as well, Remy. I'll get it to you in a minute. And that's it.
All right, thank you, Dr. Romanelli. All right, any notices? No. And then we'll have any community member who would like to speak on any topic, and we have one card. So we'll call up Mr. William Tarkey.
Hello again, and thank you to Ms. Marks for the commencement.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
As Ms. Kelly mentioned earlier, there was an assembly at the high school today about drunk driving and the choices people make. However, I feel like it needs to be said and brought to the attention that this, and in accordance with a lot of the students at the high school, from what I've heard, did not end the best. The assembly was insightful to begin with. However, videos were shown, and not to get to the worst ones. However, there were car fires where people were trapped inside. There were pedestrians struck by vehicles, launched into opposing lanes, and stopped on a frame moments before a man's head was crushed by a tire of a car. These situations happen, and it is important to bring them to attention that they do happen in correspondence to drugs and alcohol being behind the wheel of a vehicle. However, these videos were shown with no warnings to the students and without warning to the fair majority of the administration of the high school and without the notification of guidance counselors, students, etc. So my story is I lost my father to an incident involving alcohol. He was on a bicycle and was struck by another person who had consumed alcohol and face planted into a telephone pole at close to full speed. Recalling the incidents from the video today brought back memories of my experience with such activities. So, as I was watching the video, there was one in particular that startled me the most. It was one of a man driving a Tesla down a residential street and crashing into a grandfather who was pulling his truck out of the driveway. And you could see the grandfather scream before the cars collided. He died. It is situations in this that bring me the most concern for the students and what we show us. But the part about it that concerns me the most is administration, after the fact, panicked because they were not made aware of what was being shown in these presentations, which immediately tells me that if an outside source comes into our school to give us a presentation, it is not checked beforehand. Where do we go wrong in that scenario? Well, today, an estimate, 50 students left the auditorium crying. Several of us had to go to the guidance office and digest the information for several periods in a row. And from what I understand, the assembly was only for seniors and juniors. However, words spread to the sophomores and freshmen, and they're equally as disgusted as the rest of us. So my question mainly portrays to this. What are we going to do to prevent this, and what are we going to do to remedy it?
I apologize that that happened to you today. I can only imagine how devastating that must have been to see that. I don't know what the vetting process is for them to come into the district to present.
Yeah, Will, thank you so much, first of all, for sharing your story with us, and we're very sorry for your loss, and appreciate you sharing that to put this in context for us. I can tell you that, we work with the administrative team at the high school, and I know that they, care very deeply about the students at the school, and really, would not want to knowingly do harm that you're describing here. So what I would say is that, as administrators, teachers, any staff member in the district, we're all very reflective people. So I think you've given us a lot to think about and to talk about, but I can assure you that we'll certainly have a follow-up discussion about our practices and, materials and things like that. And we appreciate bringing it to our attention tonight.
I'm sorry for being so very entrapped. It's just
No,
not a
thank
matter
you.
that
Takes
really
a lot of work to
knows
get
a
out
lot.
there and say that.
No,
I'm sorry they were lost.
Yeah, well, thank you. Sorry for the loss of your dad, and also, but thank you for bringing this up. As we mentioned, student perspective is the most important perspective for us, and we certainly will discuss this and continue. But appreciate you having the bravery to stand there and go through what you just went through, and we'll make sure that we work with the administration in vetting them out in future cases.
Thank you.
All right, any other notices? All right. Thank you, everyone. Can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session? We'll talk about personnel, legal, and negotiations. Discussion, all in favor? All opposed? All right, motion approved. Meeting adjourned, and thank you, everyone, for coming. Thanks for all the students for coming out this evening. And reach out with any questions.